Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rise or Die podcast. This is yours truly, Stephen M. Lowisz, for episode 104, A Radical Shift. There's been a lot of really big radical shifts in my life. In the last 2 years, but especially, here in 2018. Yesterday, I found a buyer for my home. It only took 2 days. Now in, a month from Tuesday, I will be closing on my home. Closing is then getting rid of it and then moving the next day to Central America. Talk about a radical shift. Like, that's the epitome of a radical shift. Now, for those of you guys that don't know my story, I'm going to give you like the 20-second version. I had a lot of money at 18, 19 years old, already making $100K, but I had nothing else across body, being, or balance. I had business, but no body, being, or balance. So I gave up business, paid a couple programs, everything I had and then some, went $100K into debt, saved my marriage, saved my health, saved my relationship with God, and now I'm working out of the debt and into financial prosperity again. I don't have an income problem. I have a debt problem, which I don't regret because it fixed my marriage, but now I have people to pay. And I'm willing to take those consequences. I realize what I signed up for. I'm actually anti-debt. That's the funny part. That's how desperate I was to find a solution to my life and figure out how to have it all across body, being, balance, and business. So now I'm working to get out of debt. Part of the way that I'm doing that is by selling my home, cashing out on all the equity, not having fun with a single dime of it, but just paying people off. It's the moral and ethical thing to do. I'm going to move to Central America to save money and continue to scale my business at a cheaper rate. And I'll come back by the end of before the holidays, see family, and then who knows, maybe my wife and I continue to travel some more. She's of course going with me to actually Guatemala. We could travel to Europe after the holidays. We could do whatever we want. But right now, a couple of our team members are actually Americans in Guatemala. We're going down there, scaling with them, and going to have a blast. But talk about a radical shift. Talk about a radical shift. I know what must be done. I am committed to paying everyone every dime that I owe them. I am committed to getting out of debt. I am committed to finding financial prosperity. I'm committed to serving my clients the best way that I can. The cheapest way to do that is to temporarily move to what's considered a third world country. It's actually not nearly as bad as it seems. The place I'm going is tropical paradise. But all in all, I'm going to a third world country, scaling a business, and doing everything that I can to do right by everyone I borrowed from. Now, the purpose of the Rise or Die podcast originally was because I saw this gap. You have a bunch of poor people that are literally renting Lamborghinis and mansions to try to look really rich and talk about how much they're working. Then you have the really rich people that either A, flaunt what they have, or B, they tell you how hard it was to get there. They make it seem impossible, and they didn't actually document the journey along the way. If I look at like Gary Vaynerchuk or Grant Cardone, I love those two guys. There's a ton of others as well. They talk about the work, but no one had the foresight to actually show the work while it was being done. So I wanted to show the good, the bad, and the ugly, the heartache, the pain, the fun, the wins, the adventure. I wanted to show all of it. So I'm going to make another radical shift here because I don't believe that the experience has been what it could be. I think this podcast has been an awesome way for me to share with you guys and give me the chance to throw a little insight your way that I'm learning the hard way so that you can learn the easy way by listening to someone that's going through the same shit that you're probably dealing with or looking at dealing with, as opposed to going through it like me. But I want to significantly improve the entire experience. So as I make these radical shifts towards Central America and selling my home and just all around radical shifts, I'm going to make another. This podcast is going to end. This podcast is going to end temporarily. I'm not leaving you out to dry. And in fact, I'm upgrading the entire experience. But I need a little intermission. Between now and June 1st, Rise or Die does not exist. Come June 1st, here's what's going to happen. Number one, you're going to be able to actually watch my daily journey on YouTube. Not just like a little logo. You're going to watch my daily journey and have a much more interactive experience with me. I want you to see, not just hear, but I want you to see what is going on in my life. Now, I'm also going to take that audio and post it up here. So the podcast is still going to be around. But between now and June 1st, I'm going dark. I need to lay the technology framework and get a lot of things in order. So I need you to bear with me from now until June 1st. Now, the links to the podcast are going to change. Everything's going to change. So you have one option, well, two options, if you want to stay with me and if you want to see the journey, which I'm really excited about. If you want to see me essentially document the wins and the losses of entrepreneurship, but also radical moves like fucking moving to Guatemala. Doesn't get much bigger than that, guys. So there's two ways that you can stay in touch with me in the meantime. One is email. riseordiepodcast.com. Go there, put your email in, and you're going to be the first to get notified about the YouTube channel that's coming up. You're going to be notified when the podcast is back up, how to subscribe to iTunes, yada, yada, yada. The other way is you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. It's SM Lowisz. It's SM, my last name, Lowisz. That's the handle for both Facebook and Instagram. You can also do Twitter. You can follow me on any of those, and I'm going to keep you updated on what's going on, when the official release is. Right now, it's June 1st. It might change slightly. I've got a lot of work to do to prepare for this. Everything from getting video equipment to getting everything set up on YouTube to having people that can help me edit and so forth. So bear with me. But I highly recommend that you subscribe at riseordiepodcast.com. I want you to realize this is not part of a sales funnel. When you give me your email, I am not trying to sell you anything, nor will I ever through Rise or Die Podcast, period. I will never sell you through Rise or Die Podcast. It is simply me trying to bring value to the marketplace and document a journey so that others, even my future kids, can see the hell that one has to go through for entrepreneurship. But on the flip side, they can also see that it is damn possible. It is possible. So, again, I highly recommend riseordiepodcast.com. Put your email in. Go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. It's just SM Lowisz. You can find me right away. But in the meantime, between now and June 1st, which is, 10, 11 days? 11 days. We're taking an intermission. I will be back on Friday, June 1st. And if anything changes, if it gets up sooner, if it gets up later, you're going to know only if you're on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or my email. So guys, we're significantly improving this entire experience. We are significantly improving everything. We are making it visual. You are going to have an unadulterated look into my life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not the kind of person that's going to, put frickin' makeup on and have a whole bunch of edits and, if things are going really rough and I'm in a pissed off mood, like we turn the camera off. No, you guys are going to see everything. Good, bad, ugly. You're going to share the wins and losses. So guys, bear with me. As I make radical shifts in my life, I want to document and share them with you. But you got to give me 11 days intermission. So with that being said, here's what I'm going to post to you. Where across body, being, balance, and business do you need as radical of a shift as I'm making? Do you need to move to another country? Do you need to switch jobs? Do you need to commit to a marathon? Do you need to commit to going to church every single week between now and the end of the year? What is a radical shift that you need to make? You guys are about to see me make a massive, massive shift, and I can't wait. This is Stephen M. Lowisz signing off until June 1st. Again, riseordiepodcast.com or follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I'll talk to you guys all soon.